Hello guys, this is Neha. Welcome to my channel Guruaura, and in today's video we are going to understand different standard real functions and look into their graphs. So let's start our discussion with the very first function, that's the constant function. Constant function. The function f defined from R to R defined by fx is equal to c, where x belongs to the set of real numbers, where c is a constant. Again, any real number is called a constant function. Fx is equal to c. That means whatever x we are going to put, we will get a constant value. Suppose you are putting x is equal to 3. You will get y is equal to a constant value. In this case, we are considering the constant value to be 2. Now instead of 3, if you are taking the input value to be 1, the output will be again 2. If you are taking the input as 1, the output will be again 2. Suppose you are taking the input to be -1, the output will be 2. Similarly for -2, -3, for any number, the output will be always 2, a constant value. Now if we see the arrow representation for the same, what happens? For any element of the domain, the image is always the same. You will get a same unique image for every element of the domain. Yes, so from here we can say that the domain consists of real numbers and the range is a constant value c. Let's see the graph for the constant function. This is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. Let's consider some points on the x-axis 1, 2 and 3. Similarly, some points on the negative x-axis -1, -2 and -3. Now for x is equal to 1, y is equal to 2. For x is equal to 3, y is again 2. For x is equal to -2, y is again 2. So y is equal to 2 for any x values. Now if we join these points, we will get a straight line parallel to x-axis. So the graph is a straight line parallel to x-axis. So this is all about constant function, a function f R to R defined by fx is equal to c, where x belongs to the real numbers, where c is a constant and it's any real number, and the domain of this function is real number and the range of this function is always a constant. So whatever may be the input, the output will always be a constant number. And the graph of this is a straight line parallel to the x-axis. This is all about the constant function. Now let's move to the identity function. The function f from R to R defined by fx is equal to x, where x belongs to the real numbers. The set of real numbers is called the identity function. The function f R to R defined by fx is equal to x, a function that associates each real number to itself. Whatever we are putting as the input, that's the result, that's the output. Suppose you are putting 3 as an input, then the output will also be 3. If you are putting 2 as an input, the output will always be 2. If you are putting 1 as an input, the output is also 1. If you are putting 0, -1, -2, -3 as the inputs, then the output will also be the same. Yes? Now, let's see the arrow representation for the same. So, if in the domain we have -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, in the range, the codomain set will also be the same. So here you can say that the domain is equal to the range. If the domain is the set of real numbers, the range is also the set of real numbers. Now, if we plot a graph for the same, what happens is, this is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. We take some points here on the x-axis 1, 2, 3, 4. Again some points on the negative of x-axis -1, -2, -3 and -4. Now for 0 on the x-axis, the y-axis also will get a 0. If we put 0 as an input, the output will also be 0. If we put 1 as an input, the output will also be 1. If we put 2 as an input, the output will also be 2. If we put 3 as an input, the output will also be 3. If we put minus 1 as an input, the output will also be minus 1. Similarly, if we put minus 3 as an input, the output will also be minus 3. So now if we join these points, we get a straight line passing through the origin. So what will be the graph of the identity function? The graph is a straight line passing through the origin. The function f from R to R defined by fx is equal to x, where x belongs to the set of real numbers, is called the identity function. Fx is equal to x, that means a function that associates each real number to itself. The domain is always the set of real numbers, the range is also the set of real numbers, the domain is equal to the range, and the graph is a straight line passing through the origin. That's all about the identity function. Now let's move to the next type of function, that is the Signum function. The function f from R to R defined by f of x is equal to Sgn x is equal to 1 if x greater than 0, 0 if x is equal to 0, and minus 1 if x is less than 0. This can also be written as mod of x by x if x not equal to 0 and 0 if x is equal to 0. Here x belongs to the set of real numbers is called the Signum function. So what do we understand by this? In case of Signum function, the range will be always either 1, 0 or minus 1. If the input values, if the x values are greater than 0, we will get the output as 1. If the input value is 0, we will get the output as 0. And if the input values are less than 0, that is the negative values, then we will get the output as minus 1. So the domain can be any number. The domain can be any number. The domain can be any number from the set of real numbers. But the range will be consisting of only 3 elements, that are 1, 0 or minus 1. Now let's try to understand what do we get from this. Mod of x by x if x not equal to 0. If x is not equal to 0, that means x can be either any positive number or any negative number. Suppose we take x to be a positive number 2. Then mod of 2 by 2, this 2 and 2 cancels out, we are remain with 1. Now if we take x to be a negative number minus 2, then mod of minus 2 by minus 2 is equal to 2 divided by minus 2. Here again the 2 cancels out and we are left with minus 1. So mod of x by x when x not equal to 0. If x is positive, we will get 1, and if x is negative, we will get minus 1. And x is equal to 0 if the output will be 0. If x is equal to 0, the output will be 0. Yes, so the domain is the set of real numbers, any number from the set of real numbers, whereas the range consists of the 3 numbers 1, 0 and minus 1. Now, if we consider a value 3, if we consider the input to be 3, what will be the output? It will be 1. If we consider the input to be 2, what will be the output? Again it will be 1. Why? Because we know that if the inputs are greater than 0, the output will be 1. Yes. So again, if the input is 1, the output is also 1. But if the input is 0, the output will be 0. But if the input is less than 0, it may be minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 or any negative number, then the output will be always minus 1. Hence, in case of Signum function, if we have x to be a positive number, the range will be 1, the output will be 1. If we take the input to be 0, the output will be 0. But if we take the input to be any negative number, the output will be minus 1. Hope you are clear with this. Now, let's see the arrow diagram for this the same. So, in the arrow diagram, here we have set A, the domain. Here we have set B, the codomain. Yes. Now, if we take the elements minus 3, minus 2, minus 1 of the set domain, what happens? It gets linked with minus 1. The image for this is minus 1, a unique image. And for 0, the image is 0. And for the positive numbers 1, 2 and 3, we get a unique image, that is 1. So here the range is -1, 0 and 1. And domain is the set of any real numbers. Now let's see the graph for the same. In this graph, here we have the x-axis and here we have the y-axis. Now for x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1. For x is equal to 2, again y is equal to 1. For x is equal to 3, we have again y is equal to 1. So we get a straight line. But here this remains vacant, void. Why? Because at x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. It can't be equal to 1. So this remains void. But if x is any number other than 0, any positive number other than 0, it may be 0.1, 0.2, any number other than 0, then the y will be always 1. So this remains vacant and then we get a straight line. Similarly, for the negative numbers, again this remains vacant, as at x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. But any other negative number, it may be -1, -2, -3, any other negative number, the y will be always -1. Now if we join the points, we get the graph of the Signum function. So this is the graph for the Signum function. Hope you are clear with the Signum function. The domain of the Signum function is the set of real numbers. The range of the Signum function is the set of 3 elements, that are 1, 0 and -1. And the graph is for all x greater than 0, y is equal to 1. For all x less than 0, y is equal to -1. And at x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. So this is all about Signum function. So in this video we have discussed about the constant function, identity function and Signum function. In our next video we will talk about the modulus function. Hit that like button if you like my video and don't forget to subscribe and share. Thank you.